full tuition and fees plus a stipend. They're really fantastic, and it's a really great area to perform in, especially once all of that picks back up even more. Although I will say that the Fort Worth Symphony is having their regular season, actually, with social distancing guidelines, but they are having their regular season, and it's a great place to teach. We're really fortunate to have huge, really thriving public school band programs here. So lots of private teaching opportunities as well. So that's just a little bit about me. And I say, let's go ahead and dive on into the music, because I know we have three people to get through. So let's start with Image, and I'm going to share my screen with everybody so that we can watch a little bit of the video, and I'll pull the score up as well.
And Shauna, would you like a 5-minute warning per person?
That would be great.
Justin, if you don't mind, I'm going to have you do that because you're so good at it.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can, my screen is big enough to share and do the video. We're not gonna watch the entire video because I don't want to take up too much of our time with it, but I want to give you a taste. I got to listen to the videos this morning and they are all wonderful. So here we go. This is JC playing Image.
Shauna, if you mute, you won't be able to hear.
is a fantastic stopping point before we get to the big recap. So fantastic job, JC. So one thing that I like about having Zoom here is everybody, just while I start talking, type in the chat something that you loved from JC's performance. Show her a little love about the great job she did. So I'll start off, and then JC, I'm going to have you play some as well. So I was so impressed with your performance of the piece. You did such a great job getting out of the stand. You were really connecting with the audience, and I really felt that coming through even over the computer. I can really feel that connection that you were making. It was great. You're also getting such a rich low sound. I love your low register. It just has so much depth to it. So really beautiful. So let's dive in and work on just a few things. Could you go ahead and play just the opening little phrase for us? Those opening 3 gestures. And JC, you're muted right now.
Can you hear me?
Oh, wait, yes, I can hear you. I can't. Oh, I get it now.
There's 2 different, I'm logged in with my phone and my laptop.
I got confused by the two JCs, but I see now. Good. And your sound is cutting out a little bit for us, JC. So if you're able to click that turn on original sound button, that usually helps a lot with the tone quality.
Okay, I'm not sure where that is. Do you know how I can turn that on? Sorry, I don't know how to do all that.
If you click zoom.us and then click preferences, do you see that?
Okay, I don't see a zoom.us on my screen either.
You might be on a different type of computer than me. And that's okay. We can absolutely work with this.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on my computer. It might be hidden somewhere though.
Could you walk us through that? Because I don't know about that button either. Is that where's the Zoom.us?
Sure. So I have a Mac. I don't know if it's different on PC, but on the Mac, up in the top left corner of the screen where it says the zoom.us,
yeah.
if you click preferences and then audio, and then at the bottom, click advanced, then click the button that says show in meeting option to enable original sound. And you can also click high fidelity music mode.
Wow.
And then when you X out of this, up in the left-hand corner of your Zoom thing, there's a button that says turn on original sound, and you can click that, and the sound quality is much better. Okay, so if you don't learn anything about the flute in this class, you'll just learn some Zoom trivia. Okay, JC, great. Don't worry about the sound if you're having trouble finding it. What I want to try here in this opening is you have such a rich sound. I would actually like to hear more tone in the 16th notes, in the fast notes. Okay? So I don't think you need to be in as much of a hurry with them. So can you do it and just take your time with those? This opening feels like you're just dreaming up this piece. Great, I loved that. And then now, if you want to, which of these groups do you think should be the fastest one? Just the way it's notated on the page.
I think in the past I've been playing the second one as the fastest.
Yeah.
But I'm open to your interpretation too, but that's how I think I've been doing it.
Oh, I completely agree. Because the second one's written as a group, as a faster group of, is that 9? Yeah. So instead of 6. So I think you could make the middle one the fastest one. Let's do it one more time. Okay. Great, beautiful. I think that's such an expressive opening because you have such a lovely sound that I want to hear that much of it. Very nice. Okay, and then let's jump a little farther down to where we start to get some of these big leaps, okay? And I think that's what makes the dance portion of Image so much fun, but also such a challenge, is we have these really difficult, really large intervals. So can we try, count lines with me. Line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you start actually one measure before that on the 6, 8 and play like 4 measures?
Okay.
Okay, cool. So they actually popped out pretty well that time, which was awesome. But let's do just a little bit of work here and see if we can get them feeling really stable. So do you ever practice with harmonics?
Not as much as I should, admittedly, but yeah, I do sometimes.
Okay, they're a fantastic tool to use in a lot of these places. So if we look at that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th line, where we have the F sharp, then E, G, you could even try those 3 notes on harmonics. So it would be a B, A, C. Just try that, real simple, those 3 notes. Good. And Zoom doesn't like harmonics very much, so if it sounds funny, don't worry about that at all. Okay, do that one more time for me, and this time, can you really notice what is your lip shape like, and how much air pressure are you using? Good. Now do it with the real fingerings. Does that feel a little bit easier?
Yeah, it definitely does. And I forget which lesson it was in, but I had a lesson the other week and we did a lot of the harmonic work as well. And I came to this like revelation kind of how much my airstream has to change um, to get out those notes, and the harmonics helped out a lot. So it's good to revisit them because it's something that I struggle with a lot. So.
That's fantastic. Something you used to struggle with. You've got it now. So that was really, really great.
So 3 minutes.
Perfect. And I would work on incorporating those in your practice of this piece, and especially on the 3rd page, you can do a lot of that. Okay, let's jump ahead a little bit. I want to look at this first cadenza. Can we do the 3rd line of this first cadenza, the one that's that line like that? Can you play that for us?
You want me to play it down tempo or how I would normally play it?
How you'd normally play it.
Okay.
Okay, good, good. I can hear actually improvements in your playing even since the recording that you made, which is awesome. Can you play one time for us just the bottom notes? So this. I know I'm not playing in tempo, but can you play just those? Good. Now, as you go down, I'm guessing that you're feeling everything lower as you go down. Yeah, and the air is aiming really down. Okay? So when we add in the top notes, we need to make sure that that stays in place. The top notes are probably going to pop out pretty easily for you, just with the air, okay, and with the articulation. So if you can really try and keep the embouchure set for those bottom notes, I think you'll really like the clarity that you get. So let's play it 2 more times. Can you do it one time, just the bottom line? And then one more time with all the notes.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting
That's okay.
finger twister.
Yeah, good. So I think that would be a great practice strategy for you with this line, and I know we're probably out of time. I love this piece so much. I'd love to keep working on it with you, but really fantastic job. Very nice. Okay, so let's move on to Ashley, and I'll share my screen again. It's perfect, it just flipped over. There it is. And while it starts, I'll go ahead and pull up the score just so we're efficient with our time. Beautiful job, Ashley. Fantastic. So drop something in the chat that you loved about Ashley's performance. Show her a little love. Really, really nice. Ashley, I'm looking for you on my screen.
I'm right here.
You are. I just Great. There we go. So I just like to start first phrase. And are you hearing feedback?
Yeah, it's like cutting in and out.
Let's see if this. No. Mute
Mute
yourself.
yourself.
There we go.
There we go. And then
You are muted.
you are muted.
Well, I'll just keep can't understand me.
I think it's
Let's try
Let's try that
again.
Can't hear her.
And this time, can you take more
Take more
16th note gestures?
note gestures.
You better try. Yeah, good, and keep going. Go ahead and play that whole first phrase. Good. That sounds so much more relaxed to me, which is absolutely what we want. This beginning is big and open, but also very stately and calm, okay? And then next thing I'm wondering, how many breaths do you think you need in this first phrase?
I was taking 3, I think.
Can we cut it down? Can we try 1?
Sure.
I know that's a big cut, but let's try it. So you have all the time in the world before this starts. So at the beginning of pieces especially, take your time to fill up. So I like to breathe in through my nose, and then I top off with my mouth at the beginning of a big phrase. So by the time I start, I feel like I'm about to pop open. I'm so full of air. Give that a try. Really let everything expand. So go ahead and pull your flute up and breathe in through your nose, top off through your mouth, and play. That was already much farther than you made it before. Okay, that was great. So keep expanding that breath to make these really long phrases. Now, are you going to play all 1, 2, 3, 4.5 measures in one breath? No. Okay. But keep working to make that connection there, because I really think if you take your time like that, you can. This phrase, anybody that's played this piece knows the end of this phrase, it's so hard not to go flat. So can we work on the very end here? Just start on the F one more time and play that for us. This time, no decrescendo.
Okay.
Much better in tune, much, much better. Did you feel how much air pressure you were using that time? How fast your airspeed was?
Yeah.
Great. Are you wanting to do a little decrescendo there at the end?
I was, but I can try to not do it.
I think you can add a little decrescendo back in, but here's the trick. You have to keep that airspeed and create the decrescendo by bringing your lips really forward. So that aperture is getting really small. Give that a try. Better. Good. And then I would recommend work your way backwards through the phrase, okay? So we won't do it right now, but in your own practice, then you could go from the beginning of that measure, then back up another measure, then back up another measure, so that you're building up kind of the endurance to play that first phrase. Great. I would like to jump over to after square 2, the lyrical section of this piece. You had, by the way, some fantastic fingers, some really great technique in this performance. You should feel really awesome about it. What I want to work on in this
3
middle
minutes.
part, okay, is the intonation is so difficult through here, right? Because we have all these just arpeggiated figures. So practice with a drone if you don't already. Okay, we can't do that over Zoom, but practice with a drone. And then what I want to try once through here is again working on the air speed. Have you ever done, I call it air flute. So you're gonna put your face over like here, and you're just gonna finger and it'll sound like this. Can you try that? And we wanna hear that air, it should be loud the whole time.
Could you hear that?
Oh, sometimes for you, were there spots where the air got quieter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you do it again? Can you try and keep the air just as loud the whole time?
Okay.
Did that feel louder for you?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, now can you play that phrase just regular playing?
Okay.
That actually was so connected and so lyrical. I really liked that. I also have a strong suspicion that if you work on the air like that, your intonation is going to be so much steadier throughout. Okay. One thing I noticed through this is you weren't always sharp or always flat. It was a little sporadic. Which if you work on the air, then I think that's going to really take care of the intonation, okay? So this is one of my favorite practice strategies for really any kind of lyrical phrase, and it works really, really well in this piece. We have about 1 minute, I think. Can we try it one more thing at square 3? Can you do the same thing? Air flute it first. So that phrase right at square 3.
I don't have the square numbers.
Oh, sorry. It's where it goes up the octave.
Okay.
Okay, now just play it.
Okay.
How did that feel?
It definitely felt a lot more stable.
Yeah, great, great. Okay, well, I think that's gonna be a great tool for you to use. Very nice job. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
I have to say, that's such an amazing trick. I never see that blowing low on the flute like that. Like, everybody, make sure you all do that, right? That's so cool.
And it's so simple.
Across, but so you're actually blowing the air sort of, are you feeling some feedback there?
Yes. So really blowing down and making it, you want it as noisy as possible, basically.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing.
Okay, let's move on to Katie. And I'm gonna share my screen one last time here. And go back to YouTube. And here's Katie with Cantabile and Presto.
Hi, I'm Katie Loiza, and I will be playing Enesco's Cantabile et Presto.
fantastic job, Katie. Really nice. Okay, so drop something in the chat for Katie, telling her how much you loved her performance. And again, Katie, I'm looking for you. Oh, here you are, Catherine. Yes.
Yeah. I don't think it lets me change it on the side.
Fine. Got you. Okay, great. Katie, would you rather work on the first or second movement?
Probably the second, because we've gone over the first a lot in my lesson.
Okay, there's so much in this piece. This is, I don't know, they're all my favorite French pieces, but this is one of my favorites. So let's tackle this second movement with this really difficult double tonguing passage. So first, can you just play for me 3 Ds, one in each octave? I want to hear. Good. I love your low register and middle register D. The top one, I'm wondering if we can find the same clarity.
Okay.
So can we go and maybe do a little expanding intervals? Can you try that and go all the way up to the D? That's it. Yeah, good. Okay, go ahead and do that one more time. And what you should feel is as you go higher and higher, the lips have to do just a little bit more work each time. There you go. Good. Now let's do those 3 Ds again. Good. And can you bring the pitch up ever so slightly on the top D? Okay, good. Now let's play the first little phrase, but without the double tonguing. So. Okay, good. That was a much better tone quality, I thought, in the upper octave. So what I noticed the first recording is I felt like your embouchure was the same no matter what register you were playing in. So the reason we started off with just the octaves is because I wanted you to just feel how the embouchure naturally changes as you change octaves.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so go ahead and play that phrase one more time for us without the doubles and just notice what's happening. So what's happening as you get higher?
I think my lips are going forwards more.
Good. Yeah, you want the lips to be going forward. The air is probably getting a little bit faster. Is anything happening inside the mouth?
I was not really paying attention to that, but I
Try
can.
it one more time. Let's find out.
Do you want me to do it again? Did you want me to play it again? Sorry.
Yeah. Play one more time.
I felt like the back of my oral cavity was lifting a little bit the higher I got up.
Good. That's exactly what you want to feel. Okay. And for all of you, if you're not really sure what's happening, you're not sure if you're feeling it, singing and playing is such a great way to try this. I'm just going to do it with the second half here. Okay. So, yeah, yes, absolutely. I'm responding to the chat. So, have you done any singing and playing?
I have with some long tones, but never really in the context of a piece.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'll let you try that on your own. Okay,
Great.
I won't put you on the spot here, but that's a great way to try it, to make sure that your oral cavity is shifting like it should. Okay. Now we got to put in the doubles, right? This is the hard part. I actually want to start by doing all Ks, all the k sound. So I did all ka 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 ka. Excellent. This is a difficult way to practice it, okay? This is really tricky, so that was really good. Let's do it one more time. See if on the bottom you can be a little bit more ka, like a K-A sound, instead of a K-U. Think ka, be a little more forward. Good. Now let's do it with backwards double tonguing. So let's do kata, 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 kata. Good. I know it's a brain twister.
Yeah.
Do it one more time. That's great.
Okay. Okay.
That's the idea. Yeah, good. Okay, now let's go back to regular double tonguing. Then we'll talk about why we did this. Cool. Who thought that Katie had a more even double tongue that time? Absolutely. So for 99% of us, the K is not as strong as the T in our double tonguing. So practicing it all on K and then practicing it backwards like that is going to really help even them out. And when we evened out the double tonguing and we gave you a little more flexibility in the embouchure, voila, it was beautiful. Really, really nice, okay? Then let's jump down to measure the pickup to measure 85. So we start to get these big octaves. And octaves are another spot where I think your lips can move a little bit more. They can have that feeling of coming forward for the top octave. I'm gonna see if I can get uncomfortably close to the camera and play this. Let's see. This is a benefit of Zoom, right? I don't know if you can see that or not. I hope you can. Okay, so you can see the embouchure shifting forward a little bit as I go up to that top octave. Can you just try to bounce between the G's for a second? Good, and as you do that, Katie, make sure your tongue is staying low the whole time, especially the back of your tongue. Good. Where does your tongue feel like it is in your mouth right now?
It feels like it's sloped downward, like the front of it is low.
Yeah. So instead, can you remember when you were like a little kid and you went to the doctor's office and they were like, say ah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you have that feeling of?
Okay.
Good. Now faster air for the top octave. Excellent. Now try that phrase. Good. One more time. Keep, again, thinking about keeping the tongue down. So we have a big open space here. Good, especially the first one. I really heard a lot of clarity in the octave that time. Okay? So I think if you can start, I know you're just a freshman, you're doing such a great job, and I'm throwing all this information at you. So if you can start to develop a little awareness of where your tongue is in your mouth when you play, I think that would be great. And as flutists, we're all pretty good. We know what to do with the front of our tongue. It's the back of our tongue that tends to get sort of lost. Mm-hmm. And you're exactly right, Katie, that for a lot of us, it ends up sort of like sloped downwards. So if you can find that depressed feeling.
Okay.
I think then your top octave is really going to soar, and you'll actually be able to blow more air because you'll have a little more space. Okay, good. How much time do we have?
Technically, class is over, but we
Okay,
can
that's what I was
go.
thinking. I was
We can
thinking we
go
probably
until 4,
wrap up.
depending on
Um,
what you have.
do we have any question? If anybody wants to type any questions in the chat for me, and then we'll work on wrapping up just a little bit.
Yeah, if we could do like maybe another 2 minutes with Katie and then
Okay.
that would be great.
Perfect. Good. So Katie, let's jump over then to, can we do the pickup to measure 132?
Yes.
And this is a spot, let's actually have you do the same thing that Ashley did with the air flute once. Can you? Good. I heard how loud your air was. That was great. Was there any spot where you thought it backed off?
Maybe like the 3/16 notes after the higher D. But
Yeah, so can you do the air flute one more time and you're fast right there. Great, now play it. Good. That felt so full, okay? When the recording, I know we didn't all listen to this part, but when I listened to it, I thought the energy maybe sagged a little bit in this section, and that felt like it had a lot of energy. So then I think you can add in even more vibrato to support your beautiful big sound. You have such a great big sound. Lots of big sounds today. Really fantastic. Great job, Katie. Thank you so much for just trying so many new things for us.
You're teaching me so many things.
I saw a question asking what type of head joint is it? My head joint it's a Guhigan head joint, and it's made of tantalum. So I had never heard of it either until I bought it.
So is it an alloy? Is it some kind of mixed metal? And how is the lip plate have a wraparound like with the Garner head joints or?
Yeah. So this is a Garner head joint. It's just the company's changed names now, but yeah, it's a Garner head joint. So it's got the bands. So it's not soldered on. It's connected to the bands. And yeah, it's made of tantalum, which is an element on the periodic table. I didn't even know. I had to look it up after I bought the head joint.
What are the benefit of the bands? Can you share about that if you know, like because it's a very unique design that those head joints are the only ones that do that.
It's supposed to allow more vibration. So because the lip plate isn't as attached in as many places, it allows more vibration. It's really kind of the same idea as the Lefrex, is that what they were called?
Yeah.
They are called the Lefrex that, add vibration to the instrument. It's the same sort of idea of just being able to add more vibration, more sound. So. Well, thank you everyone so much for performing for me. I'm sure you have another class to go to, but it was really fantastic to get to work with you, to get to hear your beautiful playing, and hopefully I can be there in person sometime.
Yeah, we would love to have you. And make sure you put Dr. Thompson's school on your grad list because she's such an amazing teacher and the program is great and the facility is so beautiful and, Texas is warm and there's so much activity in that area, with teaching and everything. So, and Dustin is going to save the chat and send it to the 3 performers since you guys were probably distracted. So you can read what everybody had to say. And then Shauna, if you want to just hang out with me to say hi for another 5 minutes, I would love that. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.